Hi, this is Greg Shields, and I'm going to show you how you can control the behavior of your applications by controlling their registry settings. You can see here I've had a Windows computer, and on this computer I've installed the WinZip application. This WinZip application is here to serve as really any old application that you might have in your environment. You probably have some problems with your applications. Maybe certain settings, if they get configured, the application doesn't work well. Or maybe there are other settings that the users have to configure before they can use the application at first use. Maybe you're tired of actually sending out those how-to documents that the users, well, they never really figure out how to use them. Well, you can actually control the behavior of your applications by controlling their registry settings. The hard part is figuring out where those registry settings are. Here with WinZip, you'll see that WinZip can operate in one of two modes. And in this case, I'm working with the Classic mode, but there is also the Wizard mode. Now, if I flip back here to WinZip Classic and go up under Options and Configuration, you'll see that under the Startup box here, I have a checkbox for Next Time Start with the Wizard interface. What this is a setting that instructs WinZip to, the next time, well, don't bring up Classic mode, bring up the Wizard interface mode. And that's really the setting that I want for my users. Now, if I flip back here to the registry editor, and I go to Computer, HKey Current User, Software, Nico-Mac Computing, and then WinZip, and WinZip again, you'll see I have a list of various different settings that WinZip populates into the registry. Down here at the bottom, I have this one called Wizard, and it's a string value where the value itself is set to 0. A lot of times with these registry values, a 0 and a 1 are commonly used to determine a yes or a no answer. And so I'm kind of guessing at this point that if I set this wizard to a 1, well, that probably assumes that the WinZip application will start the next time in wizard mode. I can test this out by going back to this configuration screen and checking the checkbox here and clicking OK, and then refreshing the registry editor. If I hit F5, you'll see that the wizard is now set to 1. I now know that this wizard setting here, the value of 1 versus the value of 0, will determine whether or not WinZip loads up in the wizard mode or the classic mode. Now I can do the same thing actually inside of the command prompt or inside of PowerShell. There are some command line tools that can assist with this that I can use against remote computers to find out what their registry settings are. In the case of the command line here, the command is reg and then query / computer name and then HKey local machine and then software. If I run this command, you'll see, well, there's all the entries below the software node. And if I actually took it all the way out to Nico-Mac Computing, WinZip, and WinZip again, I'd find the values that are found in that registry location. PowerShell's got a similar command too. What I'm looking for here is dir, and again, the HKey local machine and then the software node here. But what you'll see I'm doing here is using invoke command to remote the computer DC to ultimately get the same information back out. So I can use either Windows PowerShell or the regular shell to help me find at the command prompt what sorts of values may exist in the registry that I may want to modify so that I can control my applications. Now once again, what I'm looking for here is again this WinZip wizard equal to, in my case, 1. What I want to do is control this through the use of a group policy preference. If I go down here and I pull up a sample group policy, you'll see I've brought open user configurations and preferences and Windows settings, and I'm taking a look at registry. What I'm going to do is use a group policy preference in this case, a user configuration one, to actually enforce this setting of this wizard value to 1. Let me go ahead and create a new one here. I'll right click and choose new registry item, and that brings up the new registry properties screen. Now you'll notice that the Hive is set to HKey Current User because this is a user configuration policy, and what I need to do is go find the key path. HKey Current User, Software, Nico-Mac Computing, WinZip, and then finally WinZip again. If I come down here at the bottom you'll see all the different values that I saw back up in Registry Editor. If I click on Wizard here and select, it gives me the option to choose, well, do I want to set this to 1 or do I want to set this to 0 as part of my group policy? In my case, because I want to control the WinZip application so that it runs in wizard mode, I'm going to set it to 1. I click OK, apply the preference to the policy and the policy to an organizational unit, and now I've brought this setting associated with WinZip under control.